Hi to all you survivors out there. It's me, Purple Zan. Grateful to be back here with you guys today. I always get excited when it's time for me to make a video for you guys. I don't know, you guys you like my life. Honestly, you do. You like friends that I've never had. And I hope you feel the same way about me. I'm definitely your friend. Okay, so today, after I left the grocery store yesterday, and you know those shelves were bare like that, so I had a lot of stuff to do yesterday, and I'm still paying on property taxes. You know, at the beginning of the year, you have to pay property taxes when you own these properties and stuff like that. So I had to take care of a lot of stuff like that. And then once I got back home and settled, I started looking for mobile homes, a mobile home for one of my properties. Like one of the properties I could put a mobile home on. The other property, you can't do that. So it's restricted, you know. It has the gated community. It's like a really exclusive area. I basically got that property also as an investment property. So if I want to flip it, right now people are offering me up from anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 for that property, and I only bought it for, like, including taxes and all that, like $2,400. And that's the God's honest truth, you guys. The guy who sold me the property, this property is prime property. And this is why I also try to iterate to you guys the importance of buying land. Even if you don't want to do anything with the land, or you can't afford, or to build a home or a homestead on the land. To me, land has been one of the greatest investments of my life. I know a lot of people will say stocks and this and that and another, and everybody have their own different experiences. But with land, I mean, I know Bitcoin is pretty good. I know that the stocks, depending on what type of stocks you invest in. But land, I mean, I would have never imagined buying a piece of land for only $2,000. And it's not just a piece of land. This land is in like a really exclusive area. It comes in a gated community. Most of the homes that's in this area are like $1 million mansions, most of them. Then it has where you can have a boat there. It's surrounded by huge bodies of water, like lakes and different things like that. It's just prime property. So I remember last year when I told you guys the story, you guys who've been following me for a minute, and you guys, I tell y'all everything. I don't know if it's going to come back to haunt me one day, because I never really put my business out on the internet. But as far as prepping is concerned, I think it's very important that you guys know about land and how to get land, and just keep it in your mind if you don't have it. I would really like to see you guys have land. So, at the beginning of the pandemic, when, the preppers were talking about it way before it came on the news. And I'm going to make another video about that. Now they're talking about the anniversary of when that virus first hit United States of America. They talking about it was in March. That's not true. That virus hit back in November and December 2019, when it hit Wuhan, and a lot of those people had flew in airplanes coming to America to get out of Wuhan, because they started locking everybody down and everybody started dropping like flies. So that virus is already here. I have family members who got sick from it. Like in December, they were on a plane with some of the people, some of the Asian people who were leaving from over there. They had masks on their face, but my family members didn't know what they had masks on their face for. They end up getting really sick, almost dying. But anyway, that's another video. This one is about land. So when the preppers were talking about the virus way in, I think in January and February, and I'm listening to them, and I was preparing myself, and so I went to Zillow. And I started looking for land. I was going to Craigslist looking for land. Now, mind you, I had always wanted land, but being that I'm a single woman, I've been single for a very, very long time. Almost 10 years. And I've been celibate for that long too. But anyway, I was like, because when you're going to look for this land and searching for land, you really need to go with someone. As a woman, I would never suggest you go by yourself, unless, it's right in your area, in your city or whatever. And I don't get land in the city, but if that's what you guys do, or you can take a family member, but do not go by yourself. So when I started looking for the land, whatever, and so I found this one property, and I had one of my ex-boyfriends. He just won't leave me alone. But anyway, he was kind enough to ride with me because he was like, yeah, we got to get out the city. Let's go try to find something. And because he was going to look as well. So I was like, okay. So we went to this place, and that's the place I was telling y'all about that I had all the the crazy racist experiences at. But anyway, it was beautiful. Oh my God, it was just amazing. But going there was really scary because we had to go through all these wooded areas, and then the GPS stuff would get off track, so you didn't know where you were going. It was really, really scary. It was like in non-residential areas, and you wouldn't see nobody but yourself. And then when you do see people, they looking at you really strange. And then it was like 2 hours outside of Houston. It was like really, he was even kind of like, skeptical. Because it was times I was like, let's just turn around. He's like, no. He said, do you want to die of that virus? I was like, no. He said, let's go look for this land. So anyway, went to that one, and I found something. And then, you know the story about that. So this other one, I went on Zillow because I was still searching, because that one was, I forgot what it was about that. Oh, I was looking for land that didn't have any trees on it. That was a lot that was already cleaned off, because I started finding out that with the trees, it's expensive to cut them down. And then you have to make room for your mobile home, your homestead, your tiny house, your RV, or whatever. So I was like, I need to find something else that's like, and also in a better area. So I went on Zillow, I found this land, and he was giving it away for like $2,000. I was like, something's wrong with it. And then with land, I also started finding out about different types of soil. Like with the clay, it was something else. But you guys will find out, because I don't want to give you inaccurate information. Some soil is not as good as other soil. And some soil is like difficult for you to build on, because your foundation is not going to be strong. Because some soil, like when it rains, it go to deteriorating, and whatever foundation, whatever you've built on it, it only will go to waste, in so many words. So I was like, heck, I was just learning so much about land. Anyway, we get to this specific place. I said it right this time. And no, I'm looking at it, and so I was skeptical. I was talking to the guy on the phone. He said $2,000. I was like, I don't know. I was like, he started telling me about the HOA, and it's restricted. You can't do this. You can't do that. So I'm like, do I want that? He was like, it could be a good vacation place. A lot of people just get it, have property here for the amenities, because they have such great amenities. I mean, like all kinds of things you could do. And I was like, I was really looking for something where I could build for me and my family. And I started finding out it was very expensive. And I said, so why are you giving it away then if it's so great? He said, listen, I have 6 lots here. He said, and the property taxes are off the roof. He said, I spend over $4,000 in property taxes every year. And he said, and what's going on in the world now, he said, I'm trying to get rid of a lot of these things that are expenses to me. And then he was explaining to me, I was really, truly blessed that I got an honest person. And he was saying how the HOA, because a lot of people, they're not going to tell you everything that's going on with this land. So you have to do your due diligence, and you have to study it on your own. You have to do a lot of extensive research. And but he was so honest. And he said, the HOA, you can't do this, you can't do that. They're telling me I can't have this. I'm like, wow. And then that's when I started discovering, like, even when you buy land, they still have their foot on your neck. It's like they tell you what you can do, what you can't do. I thought that I would be gaining the ultimate freedom with buying land, that I can have chickens on there, goats on there, I can have gardens. It doesn't matter where I purchase this land, I can do what I wanted to do. And that is not the case. You have restricted land, you have unrestricted land. Unrestricted is little less strict, but they still have rules and regulations in place, believe me. But then you have some unrestricted land, they say you can do whatever you want. So anyway, he started explaining about the property taxes, and I started thinking, do I want to pay? It was $4,000 altogether for the 6 lots, not for just one. And so I started looking into it, and the property tax is like $600 some a year with the restricted land. And then there were also fees like the HOA fee, and then there was a title transfer fee. They charged me like $100 and something, and then there was a utility fee, and I don't have any utilities on this land. So I started seeing what he was saying, and so I was like, I don't know if I want this. So he was like, I'm telling you, well, what's going on? You want this land? He said, you could just get out the city and have you and your family there. Y'all could just be in an RV. I was like, okay, well, let me go ahead. That was a good idea. Because if anything happens in Houston, or if I hear about it before, it strikes or whatever, and I needed to get out the city, I could go there and it will be safe. Like I said, it's a gated community. It's really strict. It has police officers patrolling the area 24/7. It's not crime infested, because I said these are millionaires that live over there. So anyway, I was like, okay, well, how do we do the deal? And this is the guy I met on Zillow. He said, you can meet me at the courthouse. That was the best way of handling that, because if you want to make sure it's legit, and you meet these people at the courthouse. And I know when I was looking for land in Georgia, all the laws are different in every area. In Georgia, it's really complicated because you do a closing with an attorney. And I didn't know. I was like, well, how can I find out if this is an attorney or not? Even doing research on the internet. I know in Texas, I can go to the courthouse, I can look up the property on the computer, or the people who work there, the county clerk's office, they could look it up for me. They'll let me know if it's legit, if it's in this person's name, the history on it, what's going on with it, when it was bought, how much it's worth. Like, they're going to tell you everything at the courthouse. I didn't know how that process go with closing with an attorney. So I remember I was looking for some land in a Pacific area in Georgia. I said that word right again this time, y'all. I have a hard time sometimes saying specific, but anyway. So I had to try to make sure this lawyer was right, make sure this lawyer, was right on all these different properties. It was just complicated. So even with that in Georgia, I was finding out that you can't go to the courthouse. You have to close with an attorney. Some people were lying, saying they were attorneys, and they wasn't. I'm telling you, that process in Georgia was really scary. And that's why I ended up not getting land in Georgia. And I wanted land in Georgia because I'm always going back and forth to Atlanta doing work, with productions and stuff like that. But and then also in Georgia, I started finding out some of the land that's really, really cheap, it has deed issues. You don't want any land with deed issues, because this is your title to your property. And if it's tied up in court with some issues from the previous owner and family issues, you just don't want to be dealing with all of that. And then there were some issues with the properties. I mean, I had one lawyer that was so honest with me. I'm like, oh, this is a blessing, because you don't always get it like that. Sometimes you get these people who are lying to you and they just trying to take your money. So this is why I say you have to really put in the work, y'all. And it's really, really worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Because the one property, if I would have gotten that property in Georgia, if it didn't have deed issues, they were selling it for $4,000. 2 months later, that property was worth $30,000 during this pandemic. I'm telling you, land, you just cannot go wrong buying land. So anyway, back to the other land that I found in Texas that's in the restricted area. So he said, okay, yeah, we'll meet at the county clerk's office, blah, blah, blah. We meet at this certain time. And you guys, when I tell you, it was just no stress. I went to the county clerk's office. It was the courthouse. I got to look up the property before he got there. I saw that it was in his name. I saw the history on the property, all the paperwork, what the property was worth. I got to talk to the people that worked at the clerk house. They was looking up information for me. They was like, yes, this is the owner. When he came in, they looked at his identification to verify he was who he said he was. Matter of fact, they already knew him. Most of them already knew him. He had been there. He said that this was the 4th property that he had sold in the last 2 weeks. So that transition was really, really smooth. And I was very blessed and fortunate to be able to get that land. So anyway, going back to the other property. So I was like, okay, maybe a developer. I started talking to some other developers about this other property I got. I was talking to the previous owner, and he was saying, like, developers will come in and they will buy that property. And I was like, okay, so that's not such a bad investment because with developers, you get even more money. Say, for instance, you have a developer that wants to build on your property and they want to build. I talked to one developer, he wants to build a tiny home community. Because you know, in the country, in the rural areas, you start seeing the tiny homes are very popular. A lot of these people, they come in and they building tiny homes and then they're renting it out, which is really a good idea, you know. And so he said, well, if I wanted to buy your land from you, I would at least offer you 30 to 40,000. And I was like, you know, so when you're dealing with developers, you can put a higher price on your land, you know. So anyway, I've been looking for, because I told you guys after this thing that hit Texas, I told you guys I'm about to start building on my property. Like, I'm not about to even waste time with it. I'm not playing with it. I went on Craigslist, and where I went on Craigslist is like, if you go to a certain area where you have land or where you're interested in land, and the certain city, whatever. For me, it was Houston. That's where my land is, near Houston. And then where it goes to, like, you go to like the housing category on Craigslist, where it says apartment and houses, you click that, and then in that search bar you put mobile homes for sale by owner. You can also put it in the real estate section. You look for land in the real estate section, and in that search bar you put land for sale by owner. It's always good to get it by the owner because it's less fees, just more direct contact, and you can find out if this is the person. And if it is the person, it's just, you know, you're dealing with that person instead of these real estate people. Is cheaper because the real estate people, you have to pay more fees, and it's just a lot of more hoopla you got to go through. So back to what I was saying, I saw a mobile home that's $8,900, which right now is kind of a lot of money to be paying, but sometimes these people will finance with you. So I text the person, and he told me to call this other guy. So I want you guys to listen to the conversation. This is going to be my first time talking to this person. He says, I said, do you still have a mobile home for $8,900? He said, hi, I think so. He said, it's my parents' home. I'm just helping to advertise. Please contact Wayne at such a number, and he can give you info and show if you are interested. So let's call Wayne, and let's see how this conversation is going to go, because I'm also interested in seeing how much it is to transport this from where it is now to where I need it to be. And that is very costly as well. I know in Georgia, they were telling me when I was looking into property out there, I found a mobile home on Craigslist in Georgia for only $5,000. They just wanted it off the land. And I was trying to find out how much it would be to transport it. So let's call Wayne. I was hoping he'd answer the phone. I probably would have to text him. You know.
Yeah, just leave a message anytime you call, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hi Wayne, my name is Zan. I was interested in the mobile home that you have for $8,900. I was calling to see if it's still available. I forgot I'm live. I can't give out my number. I'll call you guys back. I'll text you now. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. I don't want to give out my number online. So anyway, I will text him. And then look, you guys, I'm going to call the other guy who gave me his number and to see, to see if he have any information about this mobile home. You know why I'm doing this, because I'm trying to encourage you guys to get land, how you can get a mobile home on Craigslist for a little bit of nothing. Because a lot of these mobile homes I was looking at, some of them are up to $100,000, like the real fancy ones. I just refuse to pay that kind of money. Not saying I have that kind of money, but I refuse to pay that kind of money for a mobile home. 547-1760. Let's see if This guy's name is Gary. Let's see if he answers the phone. Well, they're not answering the phone right now, and it is 9:30 here in Houston. So, I'm an early bird. I really get up early. So, yeah, that's the deal with that. I anticipate on speaking to one of them today, and I will make a video. Hopefully, I can record the conversation so you guys can have an idea of if you're interested in doing this type of thing, getting land and getting a mobile home on it, or either a tiny house, you can do it. It can be done. You guys can do it, even though we're dealing with some hard times. If you put your mind to doing it, even if you don't have the money, you can get the money. You will get the money, and just believe in yourself. It can be done. So I hope I encourage you guys today and share some information that was helpful. So let's talk about it in the comment section. If you are looking for land, if you know where to start, if you don't know where to start, what are some of the plans that you have for your land? What are some of the things that you want to do? I've already shared with you guys what I'm trying to do. Gain total independence. Grow my garden, my vegetables, have me some animals on there, some chicken and get some turkeys. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, in the first land that I have, they have like wild deer just walking around. They have deers walking around, rabbits everywhere. It is so beautiful. You guys can have this type of land too. I don't have to worry about if I need food. There's areas in this on this property where you can hunt. That's outside of like the residential areas. There's a lot of water, so I don't have to worry about not going without water. And I'm telling you, if I was blessed to get that type of land, you can have it too. All right, so let's talk about it in the comment section. How we going to regain our independence, how we going to leave a legacy for our children. We're going to have property for our children. We're going to have a homestead, mobile home, tiny house, whatever it is going to be all paid for. We're going to lead this to our children, and their children are going to leave it to their children, and we're going to get off the system. Come on, let's talk about it, you guys. And I hope you have a great day today. And you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You can always go to zanharrold.com, and that's for any of your prepping needs. I don't have everything, but I'm starting out. I'm excited about that as well. You don't have to get it from me, but just get it. And until next time, keep surviving. zanharrold.com.